I wish I never made The Brown Bunny. It ruined my life for the past 3 years. It ruined my body. I'm an out-of-shape, old man. I've lost a lot of my hair. I have gray hairs now. My body looks terrible. I haven't had a date or a relationship with a girl in 4 fucking years. I haven't really made out in a real way with anybody. I lived in a hotel out of a suitcase for 3 years to make the film. My whole life fell apart. So yes, it was nice being in the cinema last night being booed for 2 hours. Yes, it was nice.
This is the actor and filmmaker Vincent Gallo, the writer, director, producer, cinematographer, editor and star of The Brown Bunny, which was released in 2003 to polarized opinions.
Will you be racing again?
Going to California. I gotta be there by Friday.
California.
On the surface, it is a story about a motorcycle racer travelling across the country for another race while haunted by the memory of a lost love.
You okay?
That is manifested as incredibly long takes of Vincent Gallo driving while lost in thought, occasionally awkwardly mumbling to women before ditching them in favour of the memory. It is almost as if this film was designed to frustrate the viewers of mainstream movies. And frustrate it did.
The film consists of an unendurable 90 minutes of uneventful banality. Imagine long shots through a windshield as it collects bug splats. Imagine not one but 2 scenes in which he stops for gas. Imagine a film so unendurably boring that at one point when he gets out of his van to change his shirt, there's applause.
Yeah. Howard Stern there, not recounting his own opinion but that of the film critic Roger Ebert, who saw an early version of the film at the Cannes Film Festival.
I declared The Brown Bunny to be the worst film in the history of the Cannes Film Festival, and so did many other critics and the loudly booing audience at the press screening. Gallo struck back. He put a hex on me that was supposed to give me colon cancer, but he claims he was misquoted. He actually cursed me with prostate cancer. Well, either way, his aim was bad because I'm now recovering from salivary cancer.
It was reported that after a record number of walkouts at that first screening, it then received a 10-minute standing ovation from the people who remained. But while that version was not advertised as a work-in-progress screening, Gallo had already begun recutting the film. Now this bit's a little confusing because Ebert's original review said, "The film consists of an unendurable 90 minutes of uneventful banality," but Gallo is said to have cut 26 minutes out of that Cannes Festival edit. The released running time is 93 minutes, so I'm not sure if Roger Ebert is misremembering the running time or saying that an hour and a half of a 2-hour movie is uneventful banality. Either way, the two actually ended up making up.
The film that played at Cannes in May of 2003 was the worst film I had ever seen there.
Now, have you picked...
However, I have seen the new version.
So he did do a new version.
Is that the worst film? No new version.
26 minutes shorter, and let me tell you that I did not miss one single second.
Ebert gave the released version the thumbs up and gave it 3 stars out of 4. Saying the re-edit transformed the film. Now, I've not seen the original edit, so I can't speak to that, but personally I found the film hypnotic. The long shots of the road allowing the mind to wander but not the attention, just like travelling long distance. Loneliness is a theme, and the beautiful melancholy soundtrack really spoke to me. The 16mm photography adds a heavy grain to the image, sometimes even lightly creeps in. Whenever Gallo's character, Bud Clay, is on screen, it's mostly framed at askew, his head often not in shot. Now, this film is not going to be for everyone. If you think the height of entertainment is Die Hard, then a simple story about a man struggling to move on whilst travelling long distance isn't likely to be for you. Which brings me to the female lead, the character of Daisy Lemon, who's played by Chloë Sevigny.
Chloe and I were not very friendly at the time. We were much less than friends. So when I called her that day when she was doing the film with Lars in Europe, I really settled down in my chair and I dialed her number and I said, all right, I'm not going to be so nice. I'm just going to call her up, you know. Hey, Chloe, it's me, Gallo. I know we've said things, we've done things. It's Gallo, the guy you don't like. In any case, do you want to do the film, yes or no? And whatever she would say, that would help me decide whether I was going to make the film or not.
Despite her animosity towards the director, she accepted the role, which would ask a lot of her.
I deliver my spiel to her about the sensibility of the film, the concept of the film. At the end of it, I describe in detail what I would require from her, which would mean that she would have to... I asked her, I know she had a boyfriend and she was very close with her boyfriend at the time, and I asked her if she would be willing to not call him, not call her agent, not tell anybody she was doing the movie, to really detach from her life and find a way to be on my side in more ways than she's ever been in other films.
Most of the controversy the film stirred up was because of one scene nearing the end of the movie, where the character of Daisy Lemon performs fellatio on the leading man. It's controversial because it was done for real. No stunt performers subbing in for the actors and no CGI. And of course this ruffled a lot of feathers because this sort of explicitness is not seen outside of adult entertainment.
No, to me it's very moving and very sad, and I just think it was misunderstood, and I think the American press took a spin on it and they just concentrated on what they thought would be controversial or whatnot. I mean, I think there are films like 9 Songs and John Cameron Mitchell's film Here that make the Brown Bunny look like an after-school special, I think. And I think maybe perhaps that I underestimated my own celebrity because I really thought it would go under the radar. So this is an art film, not many people are going to get it, it's going to find its audience, and that'll be it. And then it kind of grew into this huge phenomenon. It's like a long knife that's been stuck in my gut that people just like to keep turning and turning, and it's been very hard for me.
I'm not here to tell you what to think, and there are many opinions about explicit material being in the mainstream. But this is an art film. It will never play in a multiplex next to superhero movies. And the scene in question is not shot like a video that one might find on X-Hamster. It is there for narrative reason, and the information in Bud Clay's breakdown that immediately follows it is the heart of the movie, and why the journey is worthwhile.
I was using pornography as things used to enhance sexual pleasure, sexual fantasy. I used icons of pornography and attached them to consequence, guilt, grief.
Vincent Gallo started his career as an artist, and quite a successful one, but he's never been afraid to rattle the cage and cause controversy. He's a proud Republican, and this argument is not uncommon now, but this is him lamenting left-wing politics in cinema way back in 1998.
I'm only not comfortable when I feel the critics have personalized the reaction to a piece of art based on any sort of itchy hang-ups or special interest groups. I can feel when there's left-wing politics involved with that I have may offended. I can feel when there's left-wing politics that respond to a film. If you go to Sundance and you make a film and it has a homosexual character in it, you're immediately embraced as being innovative or progressive in some sort of way. The most mainstream movie that I saw at Sundance was The Opposite of Sex, which is, I mean, it's a TV movie at best, and it's shown in a film festival because it has homosexuality as a theme. And those things, in a bigger way, I'm offended by critics, never in a personal way.
You can agree or disagree with that. I'm sure it won't affect Gallo at all, as he's known to speak his mind, and he's not too bothered how that affects his co-stars.
Okay, so there's this guy, his name is Vincent Gallo. He did a movie called Buffalo 66 and a movie called The Brown Bunny, which I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's very, I mean, it makes dirt look like G-rated. Yeah. So, anyway, I did a movie with him and I had a really bad experience, like really bad. Right. I wasn't talking to him for many years.
Wow.
Yeah, he was my friend before we did the movie. I didn't like him at all.
Okay.
And then we made up somehow and I asked him to do Dirt because I thought he'd play a great part in the show. And by the way, he's amazing in it. It airs tomorrow night. You got to tune in just to see him. He's so good. And he ended up being fantastic. So it was kind of a nice thing.
Well, how does that work now? See, okay, you got a guy, you hate this guy. He obviously did you wrong somehow. You hate this guy.
He was going through a bad time in his life where
Okay.
he was playing a talk show host.
Okay.
And he would not talk to me while we were working together. And we were really good friends. I'm like, what is your problem? He said, talk to my bodyguard. And then he had these cue cards and he would only like do his lines by looking at cue cards. I was like, you're taking the word method over the top.
Wow, that's my life.
And you know what? He's not like that anymore at all. And he's really good and I love him.
Apparently, during the production of Brown Bunny, Gallo sacked both Kirsten Dunst and Winona Ryder while they were on set and ready to film.
To make the worst film in the world, or the worst film in con history, you would have to go in with bad intention. Let's put Paris Hilton in Rocky VII and hire Joe Schmo to write it and just, you know, that's the worst film in the world. Even my relatives in Buffalo heard I made the worst film ever made. What that does is, it doesn't qualify Vincent Gallo may have been trying to do this, but I feel it didn't work. I was labeled, in a sense, a loser. If you create a perception to the mainstream that there was nothing purposeful about it, that's why I came out, that's where I lost my sense and became a more unreasonable person.
As we look back at it, at least it was not boring.
It was funny. It was funny.
You don't have to like an artist to like the art. And you don't need to like the art to see it has merit. Brown Bunny is a misunderstood film which is known for all the wrong reasons. If you have got this far into this video and you haven't seen it already, then I suggest you do. I'm trying to keep these videos coming out regularly, and it's starting to cost me a bit of money these days. If you think my work is worth something, then you can make a one-time donation via this site. If you can't afford that, then click the thumbs up and leave me a comment. It's the next best thing. I'm Scott Kingsnorth, and I'm making a movie.